My dear fourth grade children, how are you, ma? Are you fine? Are you stay in your home? Okay, ma. Please, children, be stay in your home. So be happy. Okay, let us start to study social science online classes. Do you like to study social science, ma? Yes. Okay, fine. Shall we see that? Now we study that lesson 5, political divisions of East and Northeast India. Okay. So in the last class we have learned East India. The states of East India includes Bihar, West Bengal, Odisha, Assam. Okay. So that each state capital and some cities, rivers, main crops, some occupation. So we have learned in this last class. That is Bihar. The capital of Bihar is Patna. And important cities Bodh Gaya, Bhagalpur. Bodh Gaya is important for Buddhist. Who was Buddhist means the follower of Buddha is called Buddhist. And important rivers Ganga, Gosi and Sun. Main crops rice, sugarcane, like lychee fruit. Some occupation, important occupation is farming, silk weaving. Isn't it? Then second state West Bengal. Kolkata is the capital and Darjeeling, Durgapur is the some important cities. What's the main river here? Hooghly and Tista. Tista is the very famous river. Main crops rice, jute, etc. Then some occupation farming, fishing, handicrafts and working in factories and offices. Okay, so Bihar and West Bengal. Next we see that Odisha. This is last class portions only. Now I recall once again. Then capital and this Odisha capital Bhubaneswar and important cities Puri, Cuttack and Rourkela. Then what's the important river here in Odisha? That is Mahanadi subordinate. Important main crops rice, pulses, oil seeds, coconuts and some occupations farming, fishing, handicrafts, weaving and working in offices and factories. And last east state that is Assam, Dishpur, Guwahati, important cities and Brahmaputra is the river. And what's important main crops here means rice, tea, jute, fruits. Some occupation farming, working in gold and silk weaving, working in oil refineries. This is last class we have learnt, that is east part of India. Then now we see that northeastern part of India. Northeast India. This northeast India includes 7 states. This North India, Assam, we already learned about the state. Assam, that is this region, it is state of flat lands. The other 7 northeastern states are kill states. Now listen here, Assam only this flat region, remaining 7 states, that is Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur and Mizoram, Tripura, Meghalaya. These are kill states. These are lies on the kills. So these are kill states. Okay. Okay, now listen here. Assam, that is in this region, it is a state of flat lands. Assam is the flat lowlands. But other 7 northeastern states are kill state. Other 7 northeastern states are kill state. That is first one is Sikkim and second Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura and Meghalaya. These are the kill states. Okay, they are similar yet different. The states are hilly, but some of them also have plains. Some states have mountainous regions. All the states gets heavy rain. Okay, this region has lush forest. Lush forest means forest. In the forest, the plants are grow very abundantly. So it is called lush forest. Okay. Now we see that Sikkim, the state of Sikkim, it is the kill state only. Okay. Now listen here. Gangtok is the capital city which has the maximum people. Other towns are Singtam and Rangnico. Rangpo. Okay, now listen here. Sikkim. This Gangtok is the capital city. Sikkim capital Gangtok. What's the capital of Sikkim? Gangtok is the capital city. This Gangtok city has number of people lived in this city. Most number of people lived in this. Okay, then other towns. Gangtok is the very famous. Most of the people lived here. Then other towns means that is Singtam and Rangpo. Okay, what are the important other towns? Singtam and Rangpo. Okay, then what's the important river? Here, the river Tista flows through Sikkim before it enters the plains. The river Tista flows through Sikkim before it enters the plains. Now listen, it is present in the state. Okay, it is joined in the state by the beautiful green Ranger River. Now listen here. What is Sikkim? This capital of Sikkim is Gangtok. Here, from the city, number of people worked here, and other towns are important towns is Singtam and Rangpo. Other towns are Singtam and Rangpo. Okay, then what's the important rivers? That is the Tista and their tributaries. What's that meaning of tributaries? A small river flows into a large river. A small river flows into a large river is called what more? Tributary. What is tributary? A small river flows over the large river is called tributary. So this Logan, another tributary that Tista also flows through this state. Okay, so this flowing of Tista, this land is very fertile. Okay, then what's the important crops here in Sikkim? That is corn, rice and barley. Corn, rice and barley are grown on terraced fields. What is terraced fields? Terraced fields means that is side of these mountains, hills. This growing up crops they built on slopes. That is a terraced. Okay, so important crops in Sikkim, that is corn, rice and barley. Okay, and discussion, farming and cattle rearing are the main occupation. Here what's the occupation? Cattle and main. Cattle rearing is the main occupation. Okay, then next, handicrafts means that is scroll painting. That is scroll painting means it is created from silk or paper. Okay, So in Sikkim, this important when this scroll paint. Scroll paint means it is also two types: hand scroll paint, hanging scroll paint. Yes, now listen here. This can scroll painting means it is two types: hand scrolling and vertical scrolling. Okay, ma. So do you understand that Sikkim, this capital, important cities and important rivers and important crops? Okay. Okay, now we see that Arunachal Pradesh. What is, where is this Arunachal Pradesh? Okay, now listen here. Yes, now listen here. What's this capital? Itangir is the capital city at the foothills of the Himalayas. Okay, now we see that Arunachal Pradesh is well developed and has many people living here. Therefore, another town in is a Buddhist center and has an important monastery by the same time. Okay, now listen here. Now we study that Arunachal Pradesh. This Itangir is the capital city at the foothills of these Himalayas. It is well developed and has many people living here. Town, another town, a Buddhist center, and has an important monastery by the same name. Now listen here. This what's the meaning of monastery? A monastery means a place where monks live together. The place where monks live together. Okay, what's the meaning of monks? That is the male saints. Male saints. Okay, ma? Can you see that? Arunachal Pradesh. Capital is Itangir. And it is well developed and has many people living here. Then another state, Tuang, is a Buddhist by the same name. Okay, what is that river? The Brahmaputra enters India through Arunachal Pradesh. Important river is what? This Brahmaputra enters India through Arunachal Pradesh. Is northeast India, the hill state of second. Now we study that Arunachal Pradesh. Arunachal Pradesh, the capital is Itangir. It is the capital city and it is well developed city. So many people living here because it is so comfortable for life of people. So this city has number of people. And what's the important rivers means? Brahmaputra is very important river here and it flows through Arunachal Pradesh. And this Brahmaputra river enters India through Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, that is very important. This Brahmaputra river enters India through Arunachal Pradesh. It is the Arunachal Pradesh. Pradesh is the one of the northeast state. It is a hill state. Next, it is called Dyke Bank here and is fast flowing. This Brahmaputra rivers flowing very fast because it flows through the mountainous land. So rivers flows through mountainous land means it flows very fast. Then what's the occupation here? that is farming is the main occupation. Other small scale industries like basket weaving, fruit processing, oil milling, and silk production are also developing. Now listen here. From this lesson, we are living in the our state is Tamil Nadu. We are in the southern part of India. Now we study the northeastern part of the some of other states. That is, first of all, we study that Sikkim, second Arunachal Pradesh. So, what's the main occupation here? That is farming. Farming is the main occupation. Other small scale industries like what are the industries? Basket weaving, fruit processing, oil milling, and silk production are also developed. Then what are the crops? Here, agriculture is the main occupation, but it is difficult because this land is not for uniform for all that places. It is uneven. Okay, this landscape is and fertility is not for common in all the places. It is uneven. So, these farmers practice shifting agriculture in jump cultivation. What is jump cultivation? Here in Arunachal Pradesh, farmers practice shifting agriculture in jump cultivation. Jump cultivation means what, ma? Yeah, I'm clear it now. Listen here. That is, forests are cleaned by burning them to grow crops. These forests are cleared by burning them to grow crops. After cultivating the land for few years, it is abundant so that the soil can become fertile again. That is, now listen here, ma. I'm telling, forests are cleared by burning them to grow crops. They cleared the forest by burning. Okay, then after they grow crops. Then these crops grow well, cultivating this land for few years. Cultivating period, they do not grow plants. It is abundant so that the soil can become fertile again. Okay, then farmers then shift it to another new place to repeat this cycle again. So, important crops here: corn, rice, fruit, and spices like ginger and chilies are grown here. Okay, ma? So, jump cultivation means these forests are cleared by burning them to grow crops after cultivating the land for few years. So it is fertile again. Then shift this place to another place. Okay, important crops here: corn, rice, fruit, spices like ginger and chilies, etc. Okay, ma? Okay, fine. Then now we see that the other state, that is, the name of the state is Nagaland. What's the important here? Shall we study now? Yes. This mountainous state has very few large towns, with Kohima being its capital, and Dimapur is another important town. Okay, as it is a tribal state. This Nagaland is a tribal state. What's the meaning of tribal state, ma? Tribal? What's the spelling that? Tribal. Tribal means what? Tribal means, can you hear this word? Adivasi. Tribal means Adivasi. That people is called Adivasi. So it is called tribal state. Most people live with their tribes in villages. Each tribe has its own language, leader, and set of rules. However, English is the official language. Now, listen here. These tribal people have lived in villages. Each tribe has its own language. They have own language and leader and set of rules also have. Official language is English only. And what's the important rivers here in Ireland? The two rivers that is very very important, that is Doing and Diggu. What's the name of the river is Doing and Diggu. Create deep valleys. Okay, these Borak and Chinfin flow through these different parts of the state. Now listen here. This important river is Doang and Diggu. That is important river. And important valleys Barak and Chinfin. These also rivers Barak and Chinfin flow through the different parts of the state. Okay, what's the important crops here? In all the states, mainly rice. Rice is the important crops, and sugarcane, then potato and tobacco are the main crops here. Here, these farmers use traditional implements like a heavy knife. That is a traditional implements farmers use. All the times they used heavy knife. Okay, that is their traditional implements. Okay, this Nagalanda, most of the people is a tribal. Tribal means we know that is Adivasi, and they have some of these rules, languages, leaders. Okay, and important crops also rice, sugarcane, potato, and tobacco. But important traditional, they have this one traditionals. These farmers always use this very heavy knife in their hand. And what's the occupation? Mainly farming. Then paper and furniture making, textile weaving. Okay, this is the important occupation. What occupation here, ma? That is farming, paper and furniture making, textile weaving, and molasses. What's the meaning of molasses? Molasses, spell that word Molasses. Molasses making. Molasses means what? There, that is preparation of sugar from the sugar cane. Preparation of sugar from sugar cane. At that time, a refining sugar cane juice. While they get the first part of this refining sugar cane juice. This is known as molasses. That is very important occupation from these people, Nagaland. Okay, ma? So now from this lesson, we study that we know that information about how the people's capital, union territories, important towns, rivers, occupation, and important grains, and these people's culture, tradition, everything we have to study from this lesson. So today we studied that Northeast India, that is Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland. Okay, ma? Okay. So the next class we will see that remaining other hill states. Okay. Today I will give some of the questions. You copy it. All of you should write neatly. First of all, you should write the question and you should neatly write the answers. Okay, fine, ma. Any doubt means you call me. Okay, thank you.